everyone. Welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. So excited to be with you on a Saturday talking real estate. Always excited to be with my people and having a good summer. Today's a busy, busy day, and we got a great show. In the market today, are sellers starting to freak out? Are they getting nervous? Is the market changing from a buyer's market going seller's market? Which one is it? We're going to talk about all that today with Real Estate with Ryan. So excited to be with you. So as you know, we always got some housekeeping issues before we start. We got some new listings, been very, very active. You know, the summer is the busiest time of the year. Why is it busy? It's where all the kiddos, all the graduations, everything happens. So if we're going to transfer schools, if we're going to move, this is where you want to do it. And you want to do it soon because before you know, August, September will be here. And it's a great opportunity to have great properties on the market. And we've got some good ones that we just listed. Busy, as I said. 907 Paint Rock Ferry Road in Kingston. New listing there. Beautiful cabin on some acreage. You definitely want to check that property out. If you're thinking about developing, maybe you want some land. Space is very popular nowadays in the marketplace. These lots already have separate addresses. Sellers are going to sell them all together. Mountain Grove Lane. There's 4 lots. It's 25 plus acres, and you want to check that out on my website. So ryancoleman.org. You can find all these properties and so much more that you're looking for today. 195 Old Kingston Highway, new listing. You want to check that property out. Great one-level home. 112 Warren Lane, also in Roane County out in Kingston. You want to check that property out. New listing in West Knoxville. Beautiful, beautiful condo. 448 Berlin Lane, unit 163. Make sure you check that out. 3-bedroom unit, new carpet, new paint, beautiful kitchen. Won't last long. Then a new listing. I talked about this a couple of shows ago. One of our historic homes. I want to say it's a 1900. You know, when the tax year says 1900 and then it could be 18 something. Beautiful historic home. I'm not sure if it's on the registry or not. 252 Ragoon. Not really sure I'll pronounce that, but we're going to say Ragon Road in Philadelphia. Beautiful home. Just hit the market as a coming soon. You want to check out that. Some congrats, 293 Little Mountain Way went under contract. And we got some more, but we'll get those in the next show. All right, we got so much going on. As you know, this is a busy, busy weekend. Our Vols are in Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Did a little baseball, super regionals. This weekend, we got 2 games, could be a possible 3rd game. So if you're out and about, make sure you check us out on Saturday. We'll be down there doing a little block party. We've got the TVs in the back. I mean, it's a meet and greet. We're giving away some surprises, some tickets to the game here on the beginning of the men's football season, so you don't want to miss out. And I'm not sure if we'll be there Sunday or not. So check us out. We'll be down there, me and April, live at the stadium. And we've got TVs set up. It'll be a great party. All right, what else? What else do we have, Nick? A lot going on. As always, guys, you know, you're tuning in the radio. Maybe you listened to us the first time. So who's that guy on there? I never heard of that guy. Well, my name's Ryan Coleman, Hometown Realty founder, and we like to do a little real estate here in East Tennessee. We always say this. We say, listen, it's not about where you move and it's where you're at. It's Vols. And once you come here, you have to blend into the orange. You have to blend into the orange. We say, man, we'll make you one of our fam, one of our people, man. So we love our orange, we love our Vols, and we love our East Tennessee community. And that's what makes this place so special. Because, you know, I didn't come from here as well. We came from a place not far from here, Virginia, right? And as we relocated here, we really didn't know what to expect. Like a lot of you guys that come all across the country, and you really didn't know what to expect. But one of my first experiences was ever, and that's why we talk about our Vols so much, that kind of drew me here. My uncle played for the Vols for years, and it was just something special about this community. My first game was in Neyland, and I was just overtaken by the people and how nice they were and just the community feel. I was a young kid at that time that didn't know that I'd end up my career here, raising a family, meeting my beautiful wife. But it was something about coming to the stadium, meeting some of the just greatest people I've ever been. And I've been to a lot of different places, but never had that feel. And here you go, rewind, here we are, I'm 46 years old. Oh, just had a birthday. Hard to believe that. But coming back now, having little ones, raising a family, running a company here in town, it's one of the best places to live, work and raise a family. And obviously that's why we're selling real estate. We tell you we're doing our dream. We enjoy doing what we're doing. And we encourage you guys that if you're new to the area, to check it out. It's one of the greatest places that you're going to be. There's a reason that we have so many people relocating across the country from California to Texas. And it's not just the pandemic. These reasons, the things that happen, they were looking for a reason or an opportunity to change. And I can't tell you that a lot of people that we help on a routine basis is just super excited about being here. So that's my love on East Tennessee. Happens to be Vols that brought me here. Happened to still be a Vol for life. And I know, of course, we're a proud sponsor of the Vols. So all that kind of came out and worked together. But we're going to talk about the East Tennessee housing market. We're going to talk about, as all the sellers last week or two, my team's kind of been inundated with some calls. So we had a lot of properties that are hitting the market, a lot of properties that are going pending, and then new listings that came on the market, right? New listings that came on the market. Did we miss the market, Ryan? Oh, no. I'm getting nervous. I turned on the news and inflation. We're printing more money than we're making. And of course, that's been the case for a while, but keep printing. And then the news on the interest rates keep going up. Are we in a market that's cooling off? And what are those signs? So that's all we're going to talk about today. And in the real estate market as a whole, how does it affect us here locally? Because our market in East Tennessee is totally different than California, Texas. And even when we go back to the markets of 2008, 2012, those markets were tough. All right. It was a big recession. We thought a lot of places, banks were too big to fail, but they failed. And a lot of places that were about to fail, they were being funded and kind of held up by the government. So those were tough times. But what did we do as a whole? I remember selling there. I've been doing it for 23 years. And the market obviously was challenging. But as East Tennessee held its value, where Florida or California could drop 37% in 1 year, we were somewhere 8 to 9%. 8 to 9%. And we stayed that course over a period of time and have stayed that course consistently. So it's always been fairly conservative, never go super high. Of course, we're high. It's higher now than we've seen in a long time, right? But that's because the whole country is high. We have limited inventory. And when we have limited inventory, we're always going to have those challenges. Buyers are going to drive up prices. So many things talking about that. And with the housing market, what are we going to do? Sellers are getting nervous. And I had some conversations that I would do today. I see some other colleagues that are out there and they put different stuff out and they say, well, we knew the market was going to come to an end. We knew the market's all over. Now it's going to be a buyer's market. What do we do? Panic's setting in. And let's say, ho, pump your brakes. The market's not changing overnight. We have about, Nick did this a stat for me, thanks to Nick and my marketing team here. They keep me straight. 2,600 properties, 2,606 to be exact, on the market. 2,606. So that's the Knoxville DMA, the whole surrounding area. So it's Knoxville, Loudoun, Roane County, Granger. Don't forget Sevierville, Seymour. All those areas make up the DMA of Knoxville, 2,606. It's not a lot of homes. Now, still not a lot of choices. Now, we have some changes. We had 884 reductions in the last 30 days. What does that tell you? We'll talk about that in a minute. And then, of course, we have pending. Homes are selling despite the news. All right. And then we have about 2,103 to be exact pending. So 2,600 homes in the market, 2,100 pending. Pretty healthy. What does that mean? We know for buyers. And then, of course, where does that see us going? Okay, let's talk about the reductions because that's what everybody wants to talk about. It's kind of like the news. It's always never positive. It's always something negative. Well, I'm kind of a glass full, kind of half empty guy. I always like to think on the positive. And the positive is 884 properties were reduced. But how many times have we had that opportunity? We were meeting, and some of them are my great clients that are listening to the call, and we've listed the property. And everybody wants to get involved in the market. As a seller, we want what? The most money, man. Show me the money. Show me the money. We want to see the most amount of money from our property. As I tell sellers, in the last couple of years, we've never seen a market like this. And why not? It's your opportunity. You've got a great property. It's time to cash in. Now, that's tough for the buyers in today's market, but we're talking about the sellers. But what about those meetings that we've had? Conversations if you guys are listed with another agent or you're thinking about selling yourself and you put that number out there. Did you listen to the agent? Did we go with the suggested list price, or did we push it to the ceiling? I'd have to be honest that a lot of people in the market today have pushed it to beyond levels that they thought they could get. So it's only normal when the rates start increasing that we're going to see a little tick back, because those numbers probably weren't realistic anyway to start. Listen, stay with us. We got a break. We got a good show coming. Stay with us in the second half.
Knoxville and East Tennessee. The region is known for its rolling hills, rivers, and lakes. There's no better place to work, live, or raise a family. Home is where your story begins. Buying or selling your home is a big decision, and you need a real estate team you can trust.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty, your hometown experts. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let us develop a winning game plan for you.
Hometown Realty is East Tennessee's #1 real estate group and a proud sponsor of the Vols.
Your friend promised we wouldn't be homeless.
He promised. He's doing everything to fix it.
You need to call and have him fix it now.
Hey, man.
Found us a house.
No, not yet. Let me call you back. We're working on it.
Ryan Coleman with Hometown
He
Realty.
says he's doing the best he can do, honey.
Well, he's taken too long. I knew we should have gone with Ryan Coleman.
Choosing the right agent is never easy.
Call your hometown experts. We'll take care of all the details and make sure you don't get stuck in a motel. All right, back at it after the break, talking a little real estate. But you know the second half, before we get into a show, we've got a good one. So if you're tuning in, we're talking about, are the sellers starting to freak out in the real estate market? Are we in a seller's market decline? Don't know. We'll talk more about that. So hold tight. I don't think so. But obviously there's some panic, right? The whole world seems like. I had a client go, talked to a client the other day we just listed, and she said, oh, the whole world's going to, well. And I said, well, it's too much news. I got to turn it off sometimes. But before we go the second half, we got our 60-second vol update. Not going to do a whole lot of vol updating, but what do we have here is our super regional vols. Our men are out the world, amazing with what's going on with the baseball league. And we got the super regionals this weekend playing Notre Dame. Hopefully to see those guys go to Omaha. That's right, to see those guys go to Omaha and we win a championship. How exciting would that be? Also, we got in the news talking about baseball. Lindsey Nelson Stadium has been approved to be for capacity to expand. Danny White, our Tennessee athletic director, has said that the stadium is going to go from 6,500 to 8,000 with an additional standing room areas that could allow crowds to expand as much as a couple thousand. So, if you're looking for tickets this weekend, baseball is hard to find, but we're going to be expanding that soon to get more volunteers in the stadium. And that's it. That's our 60-second Vol update. Proud sponsor of the Vols, Hometown Realty, bringing you the up-to-date information on the Vols. All right, back at it. So we're talking about with the housing market. And as you guys have been following the real estate market, even if you just kind of tune in and tune out, just you're not in the market, you say, what's going on, Ryan? What is the market? That's what I get all the time. How's the housing market? Is it changing? Are people buying anymore? Where are we at with the sellers? Are we going to see prices? And a lot of buyers sitting on the sidelines thinking that the market's going to collapse and we're waiting back to 2008 or prices are going to dramatically fall to the wayside. One of those things kind of going into this market was expansion. So we have a local county that's next to us is Loudoun County, and they've got a moratorium kind of speaking with this. So if you follow the real estate market, we're in Hardin Valley, Farragut market. That market's expanding rapidly. And I told my wife, I said, just a matter of time that they keep pushing west. Well, now we're getting some pushback from our great people in Loudoun, and they have a moratorium basically to stop any developments or PUDs to rezone land, meaning Loudoun is wanting 2 acres minimum for 2 homes. So you put a house per acre, but that's it. They don't want to rezone a piece of land and then kind of stack a whole bunch of houses on top of it, which is happened in my neighborhood, which is we knew. But you're seeing that all across East Tennessee, that if the developers can put as many homes as they can on the property, that's best for them. We're seeing huge profits. But that's not the case in every locality. So the commission has a meeting on June 27th, and they'll kind of see where they're at. It's been 8 months of kind of back and forth. We'll see where they go there. Some consensus is that, by the way, Ryan, the prices, if they don't do something, prices will be astronomical for people in this area. Loudoun County, you got to know your market. Granger County, some of the counties that we serve, they're rural. And they're rural and they want to stay rural. They're not looking to be West Knoxville. And they have a lot of farmland and they'll allow development, but they're always going to control that growth. They're always going to control that growth. They're not going to turn into that. Their infrastructure is not set up for that. Schools, hospitals, things like that, they're just not set up that. So it's slow, gradual growth. Well, we're in an explosion where we're needing housing. Inventory's lower. And so they think that obviously that we could go next door. And I can tell you by dealing with the county, we've worked with mayors and some high up people there. They're not going to lay down that consensus there. It's going to be a fight. So don't expect rapid changes in your rural areas. It's not set up. There will be more growth. There will be more opportunity. But, you're not going to fix the housing shortage by adding a bunch of homes in a county that's just not going to structure it. Won't allow. We'll see where that goes. Obviously, if we have more affordable housing, it's going to benefit everybody. But you got to know your market and you got to know your county that some of the localities will not allow that. Okay. All right. Let's get back into the housing market and some things to kind of see if the housing market is changing. We know the market's changing. Once you see interest rates that are constantly moving up, and the Feds talk about possibly having 7 rate increases this year, it's going to be enough to say, okay, maybe I don't need that second home. Or maybe, honey, we need to kind of stay put right now. But we look at the housing market as a whole, and we know that when we started the show, we had about 2,500 homes on the market. Now, as a rule of thumb, that's a pretty low number. I remember back in 2008, 2013, we had 9,000, 10,000, 11,000. I think we're up to 13,000 properties on the market. Healthy supply of choices for buyers. Some of the cities with the highest increase in values would be Miami, which went 38%, Vegas, 33%, Orlando, Tampa at 29%, Austin, Texas, 28%. There's no doubt about it that the median list price is averaging across the U.S. about $425, and that's a 14% increase from last year. With these growing prices, where does that leave the market? Where does that leave you? And what do we do about it? Obviously, with the inventory, the budget now is big. So everything's so expensive. Now you take the rates that were maybe 3%, maybe 3.5%, and go up to 5.3%. We're going to have more income to qualify. That means we're going to buy lesser a house. And then now we're purchasing homes that are a little bit overinflated anyway, right? We're at the top of the market. The challenge is this. If we went back years ago, and we'll pick on our friends in California, but those numbers as a whole, they led the country as one of the highest priced real estate markets throughout the states. California. I remember we'd have family members in California years ago and had just a basic house on a piece of dirt. I mean, it wasn't much of nothing, and it was $500,000. Right? Now that property is probably worth $1.5 million. So, but you look at those markets, and you were in those markets, did you ever think they were going to change or they were going to decline? And could you ever gauge those to think that some of the markets that they're now, $10, $12 million? And that's the problem of trying to time the market. So many people have a expectation of the market and be able to time it. I don't think that is the case. We look at days on the market back in March of 2022. Homes sold 11 days faster of this year than they did the previous year. So that's not really showing that they're selling. But in April, homes only sold 6 days faster. So what are we seeing in East Tennessee? Are we seeing less buyers? Yes, we are. Is it making some people nervous? Yes, it is. But we know we were in a market that is abnormal. Like when we're getting 15 offers and we put the home on the market, the sellers almost everybody's enjoying it except the buyer, right? And they're bidding and waiving inspections and escalation clauses where, it go up to a certain price, all these things. But as in my business, I've seen that before back in 03 and 04, it only lasts for a season. It cannot sustain this market because, basically nobody will be able to afford anything. So what we're seeing is a little bit of a correction in the market. It's slowing down. Yes, it's cooling off. I don't think it's anything to panic. One of the things in this market that you need to know is that markets come up and markets go down. And when we've seen a market where we have price adjustments, that's okay because the adjustments were probably sellers in the market trying to maximize the most that they can. But now that we're moving forward, probably one of the biggest reasons that we do this show, you're going to need an agent and a team that's going to work for you. Somebody that you can trust in the market that knows exactly what's going on. We talk about experience, we talk about expertise, and what to do in this market. So many times clients are calling me, and what we're working through now is in this market, if you're selling, you've got to have a marketing plan. A lot of people that were in the market, I had a client call the other day, and they were like, well, we're just going to put it in the MLS. That just sells it. Well, that did at one point, maybe, but that may have not lost money on the table. May not got multiple offers. Now we're transitioning into some. Maybe we'll get 1 or 2 offers, or maybe we'll get 1. But you got to have a marketing plan that's going to make sense and a marketing plan that's going to expand versus just putting it on the market and expect that to sell. Because guess what? Those days are winding away from us. Still a great opportunity, but they're winding away. And in buyers, there's more inventory looking up. Opportunities are there. Stay patient and stay in your budget. Hope you've enjoyed this show today. Real Estate with Ryan, every Saturday on News Talk 98.7 and 92.3 FM. The best number in real estate is 693-SOLD. Easy number. If you want to check us out online, it's ryancoleman.org. You guys have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week.